So, hey everyone, it's your girl Samantha here, and I wanted to do a quick story, very, very sad story. So, this was published just 10 hours ago from CBS Baltimore. Apparently, Kiana Holly, the officer who was caught in an ambush, has passed away a week after the shooting occurred. So Baltimore City police officer Kiana Holly has died after she was removed from life support Thursday afternoon. Police Commissioner Michael Harrison said. Holly was in her patrol car on Pennington Avenue in Curtis Bay early Thursday morning when she was ambushed and shot. Police said she was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The mother of four was working overtime on the shift, according to police. She joined the department in 2019. Wow, so she's only on the police force for 2 years. I feel so horrible for her family, and especially her children. So 2 men were arrested the next day after police recovered a vehicle of interest based on surveillance video reviewed by detectives. They are being held without bail. The suspects, Elliot Knox, age 31, and Trayvon Shaw, 32, who were monsters, by the way, I added that myself, also faced murder charges in the death of Justin Johnson, a 38-year-old man who was shot and killed hours after Holly was shot. As word spread of Holly's death, so too did reactions from the community and his leadership, who offered condolences to the officer's family, friends, and colleagues. She was way more than a police officer. She was a friend. She was family, said neighbor Shantae Wells. I'm hurt. I'm really hurt because that's an officer, someone who protected and served for our city, said city resident Pat Radman. Our prayers are with Officer Holly's family and loved ones, co-workers, and the entire community. I thank her and the entire BPD community for their commitment, service, and sacrifice. We mourn Officer Holly's death together, and we will heal together, said Commissioner Harrison. Our hearts are broken over the devastating loss of one of our true heroes. Please keep Officer Holly's family in your prayers, as well as her brothers and sisters in the Baltimore Police Department. Oh my gosh, just heartbreaking. So she has more family who's serving in the police force. My prayers are with them, and God, please cover them as they try to do their job effectively each day. So it says, and all those who put their lives on the line every day to keep the rest of us safe, Governor Larry Hogan said. I offer my deepest condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Officer Kiana Holly, a devoted public servant who works selflessly to protect our community, said Mayor Brandon Scott. Baltimore will never forget Officer Holly's sacrifice and commitment to making a difference in her beloved city. I ask that everyone please keep Officer Holly's family in your prayers as they endure the holiday season without their mother, daughter, sister, and loyal friend. Signal 13, a nonprofit foundation that financially supports Baltimore officers in need, is providing assistance to Holly's family. To donate on their website, click on the donate button and designate your donation to the family by writing in support of Officer Holly in the notes box or in the memo field of a written check. Whew, wow, that was hard to get through. Oh my gosh. You guys, if you listen to my other videos, you know I just moved from Baltimore. And when I first saw this story, my heart stopped. I held my breath, and I thought it was going to be the woman who was so nice to me. When I had an incident that occurred to me, one of the first month or so after moving to Baltimore, I had a scare. I think I had some, people trying to come burglarize my house. I don't know. And this black woman, she was probably a little bit shorter than me. She was the cutest thing, but she was so sweet. And she made me feel safe. And I've never had an issue with Baltimore PD. Despite, all the stuff you hear on the news, I really haven't had an issue with cops in general. I do know that police brutality is a problem, and it's something that we definitely have to fix. But I can't sit here and say all cops are bad. I know it's cliche to say that, but that's a disclaimer that must be said because I've met a lot of great cops in my lifetime, and this just resonates to me, of course, because I'm a black mother of 5, and so I just can't imagine her 4 children, especially around the holidays, not having their mom and just having to grow up without their mom. for the rest of their lives is heartbreaking. And I hope they punish the killers to the highest level possible. And so I want to get into more background of who these monsters are. Hold on one second, guys. So here's more background of the suspects. They have been arrested, thank goodness. This dude has a nerve to have named Trayvon. So the two guys who were arrested for the murder of Kiana Holly and another man who they killed later that night, on the same night that they shot Kiana Holly, the Baltimore police officer who just passed away. Their names are Elliot Knox and Trayvon Shaw, allegedly shot the police officer and a 27-year-old man on the same night. So let me slide down here. So it says that Elliot Knox and Trayvon Shaw, or Trayvon Shaw, they spelled it differently in the article, are in custody and are charged in the attempted murder of Officer Kiana Holly. They're also charged with murder for shooting a 27-year-old man shortly after ambushing the policewoman. We have got to get these thugs, these nakers, out of our communities, period. They are running around. They are the new domestic terrorist of the Black community. So let me continue. The Baltimore Sun reports that Holly was working on overtime shift when the gunman approached her from behind and opened fire. She was shot twice in the head, once in the leg and once in the hand. And this is just senseless killing. Like, why did they kill her? According to documents obtained by the Baltimore Sun, both of the suspects have prior convictions. Of course they do. Just worthless. The Sun reports that Shaw, now 32, was awaiting trial in Baltimore County for a March 2020 arrest for being a felon in possession of a firearm. Why is he running amok if he's awaiting trial? He should not have had any bail. He sounds like a scary guy who's a terroristic person. This is the problem. Like, but the people that need to be held without bail are not held without bail. And then the people who have nonviolent crimes like stealing a backpack are stuck in jail, or having a light out like Sandra Bland. That's ridiculous. Like, this shit needs to be fixed across the board at federal level. None of this piecemeal, this cops PD does it this way, these people do it this. I'm so over it. I'm so over the ignorance and the negligence in the police department and the legal system. So court records show he reportedly had a previous conviction for armed robbery and assault from a 2006 case. So this is a bad dude. Like, he's bad. He's a horrible person. Then you have Knox, 31, was convicted of 3 armed robberies in 2006 when he was 16, age 16, and sentenced to 15 years in prison. How is he 16? Okay, yeah, I guess that could be happening. So anyways, the police commissioner said during a news conference that the shooting of Officer Holly was connected to the murder of Justin Johnson. He explained, "We now know the perpetrators of Officer Holly's shooting. They then left that scene, went to Lucia Avenue, and then committed that homicide of Justin Johnson." State Attorney for Baltimore, Marilyn Mosby, pledged to prosecute the suspects. Yeah, to the highest level. They should have never been out on the streets. They should have never been out on the streets. If they're waiting trial, they have all these convictions. Why are they on the streets? I hope her family sues the police department and the city, because this is a negligence of justice. This is just a negligence of not even justice, but like just keeping the community safe. Why do you have clowns like this running amok, running throughout the Black community? Because it's the Black community. If they were white, would they have been behind bars so you could keep the citizens safe who are innocent? So you can keep officers safe like Officer Holly? They should never have been on the streets to begin with. So as Officer Holly continues to fight for her life, this was a little bit of an old article. I just wanted to get you guys a background on these monsters who committed this murder of this police officer and another young man. But this, of course, we all know now that Officer Holly regrettably and unfortunately passed away since this article was written. So MSN reports that both men were arrested Friday when police recovered a vehicle of interest based on surveillance video. Police also recovered 2 guns believed to have been used in both shootings. Shaw is being held without bond. Oh, now you're being held without bond. Now, after you've killed a whole mother of 4 police officer and another man, now they can have some sense to hold you without bond. You should have been already held without bond. And then, so he had his hearing earlier on Monday, December 20th, like earlier that day. And then Knox will have a bond hearing Tuesday, December 21st. He better be held without bond too. So apparently, based on this article from Daily Voice, it said that Shaw was apparently informed that Johnson owed one of the men money. That's when Knox said he saw Shaw walk toward Johnson's car and allegedly fired a small gun and then a loud gun, according to court documents. So he basically shot him because he owed him money. That's why we're killing people. That's why we're out here taking whole lives, including lives of people who have nothing to do with this and are just doing their jobs.
Media briefing today, Coach John Harbaugh sent along his thoughts and prayers to Officer Holly and her family.
Officer Holly is one of many very brave officers that protect our city, protect our county, day in and day out, year in and year out. And our prayers are with her and her family, and for all the officers out there that do an amazing job of protecting us and making it so we can sleep at night. So we're very thankful for that.
Tonight, community members came together in song and in prayer to support Baltimore City Police Officer Kiana Hawley. She's fighting for her life at shock trauma after being shot on the job last week. WJZ is live. Kelsey Kushner takes us to tonight's vigil. Kelsey.
Well, Vic, tonight dozens of community members came together to pray for Officer Hawley's recovery, and they're calling for an end to the violence.
God.
With candles in hand,
Can do in the name of Jesus, God.
dozens came together to pray for Officer Kiana Hawley.
When Officer Hawley was shot, my stomach dropped, and I wanted to let the officers around the city and the state know that we will stand up for them because they have always stood up for us.
The group is called We Back Blue, and they're calling for an end to the violence against police officers.
She's a single mother with 4 children who was ambushed. Why are we not totally outraged by that?
This comes just 4 days after Officer Hawley was ambushed and shot multiple times while on duty in Curtis Bay. The suspects, Elliot Knox and Trayvon Shaw, are now being held without bond.
What we're trying to do for Officer Hawley is to show that we are uniting behind her.
At last check, she remains on full life support in the ICU at shock trauma. Tuesday, members of law enforcement from all over stood in solidarity.
We're here to support the family of Officer Hawley.
Through song and prayer, they came together with a similar message.
Have hope.
Hoping for a miracle.
We will do whatever we can by prayer to make sure that she pulls through.
Now, there is an online fundraiser where people in the Baltimore community and beyond can donate money to help Officer Hawley's family. If you are interested in donating, you can head over to our website, WJZ.com, for more information. Reporting live tonight, Kelsey Kushner for WJZ.
So you guys, let me know what you think about this story. This is extremely sad. Coming right around the holidays is heartbreaking. A mother of 4, a Baltimore police officer just doing her job, trying to protect and serve. And I'm going to tell you, I lived in Baltimore for 3 years and used to visit Baltimore all the time, even before that, because my kid's father is from there. And I've never had an issue with the police. And in fact, the police are very nice, very protective, and always serving the community from what I saw, from my experiences with them. So you guys make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy holidays. Take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.